You don't always find the motivation to study. Do you have the feeling that you are not making enough progress? You don't know very well how to organize your subjects, your time and your days. Today I am going to show you how setting goals in an intelligent way can help you solve these problems and will multiply your chances of passing the subjects and the course. And I will show you the method that big companies use to set their goals effectively in order to meet them and that, from now on, you can apply to your life as a student. Let's get started. To begin with, having clear goals as a student can help you plan better, organize your time better and keep your subjects on track. If you know your goals for each subject and you have them properly planned, it will be easier for you to identify what tasks you need to do to achieve them and when to carry them out. This will help you to combine them with the activities, tasks, and study of the rest of the subjects. At the same time, you will be defining the pace at which you will advance in the preparation of each subject. Another advantage of setting good objectives is motivation. The effect it causes is something like the checkpoints of platform video games. If you don't know what I mean, think of Super Mario, which you have probably played at some point. In this kind of games you have to go through different levels before reaching the end and achieving your main goal, and each level is divided into screens, which are nothing more than other smaller objectives to achieve to complete it. Overcoming each of these screens and levels gives you enough motivation to keep playing. Every time you beat one, your body secretes dopamine and, consequently, you get motivated. The same happens when you set goals in your study and you achieve them. Your motivation increases as an inevitable consequence. In addition, meeting all these goals will give you the feeling that you are making progress in the subject and you will avoid feeling stagnant. There is no clearer indicator that you are making progress in each subject than marking your objectives for it as achieved. As a consequence of the above benefits, the result of creating a system of objectives for your study is a noticeable improvement in your academic performance. But there is a downside, and that is that setting goals is not as easy as it sounds. You'd be surprised how many people set useless goals without knowing it. Thinking or writing, "I'm going to do such and such," or "I want to achieve such and such," is useless. That is only an indicator of your will, it is expressing a desire. For the goals you set to be truly useful, they must meet a series of characteristics that will multiply your chances of success. If you find the video useful when you finish, write me in the comments and hit the little button below to subscribe because that motivates me to keep making better and better videos. Let's see how a good objective should be. First of all, you have to shape it and create a target structure, just like in the platform video game. Do it in a hierarchical way, set a general objective in the long term, from which you will create other more and more concrete and shorter term objectives. The first one must be more than a simple objective. You must have a main goal, a clear aspiration, a sufficiently strong why. This in itself can be motivating enough. It can be, for example, why you study what you study or what you want to do with that degree. Secondly, for the current course, you are going to establish an objective for each subject, and, from there, you will create other smaller ones that will serve the achievement of that objective. At the base of this pyramid, the most elementary objectives will be the sections of the subject that you are going to approach in a study session, or the activities that you are going to carry out. Progressing in the achievement of your objectives along this structure is what will give you the assurance that you are making progress in your study. Well, now that you know the importance of establishing a structure of objectives, I will show you the methodology to develop them. If you come from a business background or you are interested in the business world, you probably know it, because it is the 5-step formula used by millions of companies to design effective objectives. This is the SMART method, for its acronym in English. The S, for specific, indicates that a good objective must be specific. So, it's not enough to write something ambiguous. Be specific. Write exactly what you want to achieve. The M in, measurable. A good objective must be easy to measure, otherwise you will not be able to identify whether you have achieved it or not. To do this, decide what the metric is going to be, what is going to be the key data that will indicate the successful achievement of that objective. The A of, achievable. A goal must be achievable. It is very nice to dream, and yes, it is true that a very big and ambitious goal is more motivating, but to a certain extent. Setting unattainable goals is the perfect way to fail. A good goal must be realistic. It must be complicated and ambitious enough to be challenging and motivating, but it must be achievable from your current situation. The R, for relevant. And by this I don't mean that it's important to you, which I take for granted. I mean that it must be aligned with your major objective and your main goal. A good goal is one whose achievement brings you closer to achieving another larger goal. The T of, time-oriented. For a goal to be truly effective, it must have a time frame in which to be achieved. This time frame must be realistic and challenging. A deadline that is too loose may mean that you will never achieve it, but a deadline that is too tight, in addition to being stressful, will have the same result. For example, it's January and you've just become like a whale with legs after all the Christmas feasts. You decide you want to get back in shape, and you set yourself the following goal. This year I want to lose weight. I'll give you a preview of the result. You don't achieve it. It's ineffective, it's not very specific, it's not measurable, it's not relevant, it has no time frame. And achievable, well, I don't know, it's not specific enough to know. At the end of the day, losing a couple of grams will have achieved that goal, but I'm sure that's not what you were thinking about when you set it. Instead, a good goal would be something like this. I want to lose 5 kilograms by March 1st. This is an effective goal, it's concrete, it's measurable, it's time-bound, it's achievable and it's relevant to your fitness goal. Let's look at an example more focused on our field. I want to learn subject A. This is a poorly stated goal. It's not concrete, it's not easy to measure, and it doesn't have a time frame. Instead, a good objective would look like this. I will master subject A, preparing 2 topics per week to pass the subject, by May 30th. I am going to master subject A. It is specific. Preparing 2 topics per week. It is measurable. To pass the subject. Relevant. It serves the objective of passing the subject. By May 30th. It has a time frame. And is it achievable, or is it not? Well, it depends on when you set it. If you designed this objective on May 29th, then no, it is not achievable. But if you designed it with a longer deadline, yes. So, let's review it. An intelligent and effective objective has to be specific, measurable, achievable from your current situation, relevant to the achievement of your goals, and temporal. Remember, a SMART goal has to be smart. Apply this to your study and I assure you that you will improve your productivity, your performance, and your results. If you found this video useful, let me know in the comments and share it with those friends or classmates who may also find it helpful.